Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is an awful movie from beginning to end. I wanted to like this one, I really did, but when it was all said and done, what I got was a film that was underwhelming and just downright boring, to be honest. This is how the DCEU ends, ladies and gentlemen. Not with a bang, but on whimper. My goodness, what is this movie? Just a mediocre dumpster fire that's not even going to matter considering this whole DC universe is getting rebooted anyway. Us DC fans deserve a lot better than this. The story is a hot mess, the character development is lackluster, and overall this is another superhero movie where I felt underwhelmed by it. I just didn't care what was going on. This one is not memorable, there's nothing interesting about it, and quite frankly I would say this one is probably just as bad or maybe even worse than Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Nonetheless, when it comes down to it, this is a film that, quite frankly, is just not fun, and certainly it's not entertaining either. This movie is so terrible that it makes the first Aquaman look like an Oscar winner. Seriously, I didn't know what in the hell was this. Like, it doesn't even go to matter considering this is the final entry in the DCEU, a cinematic universe that has had more misfires than success. Even the acting wasn't even particularly great. Jason Momoa, at least he does a decent job coming back to reprise his role for the final time as Arthur Curry. I did like some of the lines he was saying, but then when they tried to do this buddy cop type duo with him and Patrick Wilson, I was like, alright, it's interesting to some degree, but it's nowhere near enough to save this film. And then the Amber Heard, well, I felt like if you took her out of the film, then the movie wouldn't have, well, the plot wouldn't, been affected all that much. Like, she's in the film for a short amount of time. I'm like, she's not doing anything. She barely has any lines, which makes sense due to the controversy. But then when it came to other characters such as Black Manta, his revenge quest really wasn't about revenge. He was controlled by some, sea monster. I was like, who the hell is this sea monster? This is new. Where has this character been for the last couple of entries? You know what? It doesn't even matter because all this is going to amount to nothing. Even the mid-credit scene is a joke. This is how the DCEU ends, people. With a joke in the mid-credit scene. And overall, just a movie that is just a downright dumpster fire. I didn't care about this film. I was looking at my watch every 20 minutes or so. And I was saying to myself, this film is like 2 hours and 4 minutes, but it feels an hour longer than that. At least the visuals look nice. The music, it was okay. And when it came to the fight scenes, there weren't really anything special except the end fight between Aquaman and Black Manta. I thought that was cool. But my goodness, everything else was just not even worth the effort. At the end of the day, a film I generally just thought was forgetful. Nothing interesting about it. And thankfully, I am glad I never have to watch this one ever again. I'm giving this film a 4 out of 10. An embarrassing end to the DCEU. Now the reshoots that this film had did, it looks like it did nothing to improve the quality of this movie. Because at one point I heard this one was unreleasable, unwatchable. But man, this final product speaks for itself. This one will go down as one of those DC films you're going to have on in the background and not really paying attention to it because that's how boring and generic this one really is. And that is my review of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Okay, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this movie if you have seen it. Alright, this is Slim Guy 172 saying peace out.